we are going to be going to Tennessee, where 2 Tennessee lawmakers out of the 3 that were protesting alongside these students protesting for gun control were officially expelled from the state house for being mean and causing chaos. Of course, the 2 lawmakers that were expelled were both young black men, whereas the 3rd lawmaker that was not expelled was a older white lady. I wonder why, or I wonder how that happened. Anyway, let's take a look.
Democratic Representatives Justin Jones and Justin Pearson were removed by Republicans for taking part in a pro-gun control protest inside the House chamber last week. The protest followed the Nashville school shooting that left 6 dead. A 3rd Democrat, Gloria Johnson, escaped expulsion by just 1 vote. Protesters at the state capitol denounced the vote, and President Biden called it shocking, undemocratic, and without precedent.
They walked in hand as the Tennessee 3. Only one walked out, still a lawmaker. Tennessee Representatives Justin Jones, Gloria Johnson, and Justin Pearson addressed their colleagues in Nashville. But Americans all over were also watching.
Power to the people.
Here's why the 3 Democrats had their seats on the line. Last week's protest on the State House floor with a bullhorn. They were angry about the lack of debate over gun laws after the slaughter at Nashville's Covenant School last week.
Just because you don't get your way, you can't come to the well, bring your friends, and throw a temper tantrum.
Never before has a Tennessee lawmaker, never mind 2 Tennessee lawmakers, been expelled on partisan grounds. But in a polarized country, the gloves are off.
I hate that they're describing this as being a result of polarization, fucking despicable shit the media does. Yes. One very important component of this news story that's like pretty cut and dry in many respects is the news coverage of it has been, I don't even want to say like lackluster, shitty. I feel like it's like deliberately awful. This is such an obvious miscarriage of justice. It's such an obvious undemocratic moment. Like, think about it. Marjorie Taylor Greene and others facilitated in the January 6th insurrection, including Donald Trump. And that event actually like led to people dying. This was an otherwise peaceful protest that was frustrating for the lawmakers in that moment. Frustrating for 2 reasons. 1, because they were yelling, and 2, because they don't want to do anything, and they absolutely hate, they despise facing their constituents, right? There is no both sidesing this situation or making an equivalence, a false equivalence to how this is similar to making this a false equivalence to January 6th. The fact that the media is not covering it on those terms and how unimaginably undemocratic this is, that they just like literally utilized a bullshit fucking reason to expel 2 black lawmakers from the Tennessee State House of Representatives is mind-boggling to me. It's Tennessee though, like come on. But like come on for the supposed liberal media, right? Aren't these guys supposed to be the libtards? Aren't they supposed to be like straight up biased? This is a very obvious thing that the Republicans did here, and I suspect that they will keep doing shit like this everywhere else as well. There was another example of this where there was a representative flip in North Carolina from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party. Like, they are doing everything they can. They're engaging in every undemocratic thing that they can get away with. The white lady never used the bullhorn, but was standing next to the 2 others that were using the bullhorn. Yeah, that's fucking bullshit, brother. Come on now. That's what the fucking counter that they're using. If you ask the white lady herself, she openly stated what the fucking real reason was. You think they give a fuck about that? Shut up. That also implies that like there's any justification for this expulsion. Like, come on, brother. I know that that's what they are saying. I know that's what the Republicans are saying, but they weren't even looking for plausible deniability in this circumstance. If that was the case, for the record, all 3 of them would have had different charges. As a matter of fact, all 3 of the members of the House of Representatives that were up for expulsion were up on the same fucking charges. No, this was a very clear fuck you. As a Tennessean, this is horrific to see chatter saying fuck Tennessee. Remember that many leftists and liberal minorities exist here too. We were fighting a good fight just like everyone else. Yeah, also like even Tennessee Republicans don't deserve the shitty hand that they're dealt with, like a lack of Medicaid expansion, for example. Doesn't matter if they're Republicans. Poor Tennesseans are not getting what they could in this regard. I don't care. I don't think that it's only like the good Tennesseans or the people in Tennessee that have the right opinions that deserve, a better form of governance. I think all Tennesseans deserve it, no matter what happens. It's the principle that I advocate for when I talk about Medicare for all.
After the hearing, Johnson was asked why her seat was saved while the other two lawmakers lost theirs.
It might have to do with the color of our skin.
Yeah, she knows why it happened. Meanwhile, you still got motherfuckers chirping like, actually, that's not the reason. No, I said this yesterday. They could have very easily expelled her as well, and then they would have had a level of plausible deniability. They could have had a level of plausible deniability and been like, actually, you're racist for even acknowledging it. Actually, that's really fucked up that you're mentioning this because, like, the white lady got expelled too. No, they did it on purpose. They did it on purpose. That doesn't happen by accident. I think the reason why they did it was to say, fuck you. The reason why they did it is the exact same reason why they came out of the gates originally and said, we're not going to fix it when asked about what they will do in the aftermath of yet another mass shooting that took place in their state.
It's a horrible, horrible situation, and we're not going to fix it. Criminals are going to be criminals. I don't see any real role that we could do other than mess things up, honestly, because of the situation.
I think that they wanted to openly show that they don't give a fuck, that they're doing it so you understand why they're doing it. The Tennessee Republicans already hated Justin Jones. Yeah. Trigger warning. Obviously, this is not real, but a hanged person. A Good Friday presentation at St. Mary's Catholic Church on the Highway 45 bypass alarmed a few of our readers this morning, but according to organizers within the church, the mannequin hanging from a tree behind the church was meant to symbolize Judas Iscariot. He's the disciple who betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver and later hung himself out of guilt. The organizers also said the display will be taken down later today. Tennessee is fucking insane, dog. Like, look at this shit. Look how fucking terrifying this is, dude. Also, from afar, you wouldn't immediately think, oh, this must be a Jesus display. It looks like it was a black person that they hanged. Yeah, bro, the burning cross on my lawn is because I love Christ with a burning passion. Make no mistake.
Both Jones and Pearson could run for their seats again in a special election, but the question in the minds of a lot of people here is, should they really have to?
Yeah, that's, by the way, only at the end of the fucking article did they actually genuinely say what is going on here. You know what I mean?
Let's talk a little bit more about your colleague. You're talking about Jeremy Faison. He's a Republican caucus chair in the State House. Last night, he did an interview with my colleague, Caitlin Collins, and he said he was wondering why you haven't apologized. Let's listen, and then we'll get your response.
I'd like to add to y'all, they've not backed down from that either. You know, I told them earlier today, I feel like if they would have said, you know what, we messed up. I mean, what American, what human won't bring forgiveness and redemption, but they've doubled down.
I'm losing my mind. Like, they are trivializing the situation. Make no mistake. What the Tennessee State House Republicans did is infinitely worse, like unimaginably worse than what they are supposedly, quote unquote, upset about. That's insane. They're so fucking arrogant and so whiny and so condescending. It's like, it literally is like, I do declare order in the house. These unfaithful Jebediahs have spoken out of turn. You shall only speak when spoken to.
I mean, you haven't apologized? What is your response to that?
I mean, I think Representative Faison needs to reflect on his own actions as a representative. Earlier this year, last year, Representative...
Guys, calm down. Don Lemon is on his side. He's just saying, like, how do you respond to how silly that is?
Faison pulled down the pants of a referee because he got mad at a basketball game. And he's still...
Wait, what? Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. What? Whoa. What? Bro. Every fucking Tennessee representative is unhinged, dog. What the fuck? Wait, there's a video of it? Weak ass bitch couldn't even fucking pants him correctly, but yeah, he just got the greatest fucking counter to that is a strong belt. This was another Tennessee state senator, Joey Hensley, defends prescribing opiates to relatives and lover, which, get this, doesn't end there. His lover is also his cousin. That's right. Dude, it's the most Tennessee-ass story of all time. Pill popping, out of control, over prescribing opiates, and cousin fucking. Adulterer cousin fucking. You think I'm making that shit up? That's a state senator, dog. The nurse with whom Hensley had a romantic relationship with is identified as his second cousin in case records and courtroom testimony from a separate proceeding. On Monday, a Tennessee Department of Health investigator testified Hensley wrote this woman at least 47 prescriptions for controlled substances from 2011 to 2018. Oh, I do say so myself. There ain't nothing better than fucking your cousin while you're both hopped up on some Zans. If that is not godlike, I don't want to be a follower of Christ. Some people go to 23andMe to find out what their ancestors look like. I go to it to make sure I'm fucking the right people. Keep it in the family. Oh, I say, I keep it in the family. Keep the bloodlines pure. Cousin Pussy got me hollering hallelujah. My family bloodline is so pure, we're looking like pugs out here. You understand me?
I want to say that this is what we've been challenging all session, was a very toxic, racist work environment where we are not even allowed to speak. That's why we went to the well, because the speaker wouldn't call on us. He cut off our microphones. And he ruled us out of order anytime we brought up the issue of gun violence. When I went outside to support the protesters, he turned off my voting machine so I couldn't even cast a vote on the House floor. I mean, this is what we've dealt with all session. And yesterday, the nation was able to see that we don't have democracy in Tennessee, particularly when it comes to Black and brown communities.
It's just so incredibly insane that this happened, but also very expected. I don't know what else to say about this other than the fact that, like, that's America, baby.
I mean, we are the voice of the opposition party. Our role, in our party, there was only 24 members. Now there's 22, 75 Republicans. Our role was to be a speed bump, to try and stop them from driving this train off the cliff so that we no longer have democracy. I mean, our job was to be a voice of moral dissent.
Yeah, like, when we're done thinking about how fucking insane it is that Tennessee Republicans basically just like expelled a bunch of their colleagues for the crime of dissenting, okay, and loudly. Then we gotta talk about the issue at hand, which is that they were protesting partially because they were not allowed a microphone or a voice that they actually are supposed to have in that circumstance. They were protesting for gun control. They were protesting and doing what they are supposed to do as representatives. They were representing their constituents. Their constituents were the ones that were protesting, and they were following the lead of their constituents. Meanwhile, of course, nothing happened, like I said, to the one Tennessee Republican who was debate lording the children, asking them what kind of gun they would rather be shot with. That's a real thing that happened when constituents were inside of the halls of the Tennessee State House. One of the representatives asked them, well, all guns are bad. What kind of gun would you rather be shot with? Come on, tell me now. Incredible shit. Like, making it seem as though, gun violence, well, I guess technically he's not wrong, is an inevitability in this country. It's inevitable. Might as well choose. Oh, here's the video for those of you asking.
That's what we're working on. We also had $20 million in the budget, which we're going to increase for hardened school security.
Yeah, he's saying we're going to make sure that there's more guns in school.
Time and time again, school shooters seem to be using the AR-15, which is a weapon of mass murder. Why is it that you feel like people should have those in their homes? People should have guns. Nobody's saying we should take all of the guns, but guns are going to continue getting bigger and bigger. Are we just going to keep allowing people to have these giant weapons of mass destruction? Why do you support that?
It's a great question, okay?
Great question. Let me own you now. How dare you bring up what guns are being used most commonly in mass shootings? How dare you even ask me what kind of legislative actions we can take?
There's 346 people that were killed in Memphis the year before last. 346. Hang on a second. Very, very few of them were killed by a rifle that, while it looks scary, has a very small round. It is a dangerous firearm. There's no doubt about it. But when you talk about it,
the exit wound is bigger than the entrance wound.
Yes, ma'am. And there are a number
It rips your organs apart. Okay. You die almost immediately on some cases.
And that is true with virtually every single round that comes out of a firearm.
Right, but do you...
Okay, ban them all then. How about that? What are you, making an argument to ban all guns? No. Now, normally you would think, first of all, the kids are literally owned. I didn't see the full debate, but the kids are right. They are correct. The fact that he never stopped at any point to be like, let me try and not debate these children who are protesting for gun control is insane. Rifle rounds are made to shock your organs when they penetrate. Like, rifle rounds are very much worse. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The truth in that regard is like secondary to the fact that this conversation is being held to begin with. And last but not least, it's not like he's saying we got to fucking do something to at least restrict firearms and the circulation of firearms for any of these guns. He's on the side of more guns. So understand that, like, while he's literally saying it's terrifying to be shot with a weapon, he also thinks the only counter to that is more weapons. It's fucking psychotic.
We're not talking about everybody that has a mental illness, okay? There are lots of mental illnesses that somebody can have that can later on, as this gentleman said over here, can get worse to where somebody should be incapacitated. But there's lots of mental illnesses where somebody can live a full life and get treatment. Some of these flow in and out. But when you have somebody that has been committed through an emergency committal, right now in Tennessee, there's not even a referral over to law enforcement. There should be. So when somebody hits a certain level where they have gone to the point where they've got to be mentally committed.
Except, listen, first of all, no, they're not wrong. Part of that is supposed to be through law enforcement. There is truth to that. But you know his ass doesn't want to take guns away from veterans. You know what I mean? No, if you are suicidal, you should not have a gun. I will stand by this decision. I'm ableist. If you have chronic depression, if you have ever attempted to, take your life, you should not have a gun. Meanwhile, he's not talking about that. He's just like, yeah, trans people, they're mentally ill, right? Make sure they can't have guns. That's it. Only them.
Why can we use this gun? Why can we use... Like, don't you think that could be a more immediate...
So you're not going to like my answer. And look, I'm going to say that straight up. It's not about this one gun. If there is a firearm out there that you're comfortable being shot with, please show me which one it is. There's not. Right there.
He ulted. I didn't realize there was a load up to this. I thought he just came out of the gate swinging. Turns out he loaded the chamber into the fucking round and dropped it, dude. Yeah? You got a gun you'd rather be shot with? Okay. A Nerf gun. A paintball gun. Fuck it. Even if we're talking like actual guns, like I'd rather be fucking shot by a 22 if I'm picking where it's going through than a 5.56. You know what I mean? T-shirt gun, please. Yeah, finger gun. You're aware the 5.56 is a 22, right? It's literally 223. Sometimes I just want to be shot by whatever is out there because I have like the gun pervert in the chat. Yeah, he's white knuckling in his pocket, by the way. Look at his fist.
But it's not, you could ban that specific gun, and you are going to do almost nothing to improve y'all's safety. I'm sorry, that's a fact.
He's debating children. He's like, I'm owning you right now. I hope you know that. Yes, you got owned. But hey, guys, he did it civilly. He destroyed his interlocutors in the marketplace of ideas while he simultaneously told them that, like, no change will ever come. So in the eyes of liberals, or even in the eyes of the Tennessee, House of Representatives, like that kind of stuff is fine.